Hello everyone. This past Sunday we looked at the life of Paul, who was a real person like us, who had real problems and experienced real victories, great victories in his life. In fact, we could say of Paul that he was a guy who had great trials, but it's through those great trials that he had great victories. He was willing to live by faith, and that's one of the characteristics of Paul's life and something that he talked about often in his letters to the churches about the importance of faith. In fact, he said that it is by grace that we are saved through faith, that God is working His grace in our lives as we take that step of faith toward Him. And I find that in our lives too, the great victories that come to us are because of the great trials that we go through. And Satan obviously is trying to attack us and to discourage us and to defeat us. But God has promised us that He's going to be faithful to us as our God. In fact, when we look at the Scriptures, we find that in Daniel chapter 10 that Daniel had spent a time of praying and fasting for 21 days. And in that time of prayer and fasting, that an angel came to him and said that as soon as he prayed, God had answered that prayer, and this angel was the one who was to deliver the answer. But along the way, Satan came, or an evil angel, came and tried to delay the answer and tried to defeat the angel of God. But the angel came and said, "I've come," and in essence, deliver the message, the answer to your prayer. And we need to see that what we're doing in our lives and living by faith is a spiritual battle. That as we pray and as we seek God, He hears our prayers and He has given an answer. Every prayer is answered by God. But we need to realize that sometimes that answer is delayed because of God's timing, but it also may be that the enemy is trying to delay the timing of that answer to discourage us and to defeat us. But we need to be assured, once again, that God has answered the prayer. God will deliver the message to you. So hang in there. Don't give up. And I'm reminded of Mark chapter 4, where Jesus asked His disciples to go across to the other side of the lake. Along the way, He went asleep down below in the boats. A great storm came upon the sea, and His disciples were afraid. Jesus came up to the top. They awakened Him, and He said, "Why are you afraid?" Basically, He was saying, "I'm here. There is no reason for fear." And of course, He calmed the seas, and He told them that they were people of little faith. So the most important thing I think I really want to say about all that is God did not ask us to get into His boat and go to the other side and let us drown in the middle of the lake. He's not going to let that happen. So I want to encourage you to keep living by faith and let God increase your faith as you follow Him. Also want to remind you that on March the 23rd, I'm going to be starting a new series. It's called Afterlife. And we're going to be looking at heaven and hell and the spirit world and what happens when I die. What about reincarnation? And can we talk to those on the other side? Answer a lot of questions like that. So I hope that you'll join us on March 23rd.